If you're a carp angler, there's a chance that you spend a hell of a lot of time on the bank during the night, and although when you're fishing the primary goal is to catch fish, you'll also be doing a lot of sleeping on the bank as well. And for me, that's where it's important to have a really comfortable bed to make sure that you get a good night's sleep when you're not catching, like I do most of the time. So I'm going to tell you all about my Trakker MF HDR sleep system, which I've absolutely loved using, and I think it's actually better than my bed at home. So let's get into it. To make the session more enjoyable, you've got to be comfortable while you're on the bank, especially during the winter periods where it's cold. You don't want to be in your bivvy, really cold and uncomfortable, because it just makes the whole session unenjoyable and you're not really fishing at your best. Well, I'll put this out there, I've not had a more comfortable night's sleep on the bank since getting my hands on this bed. Trakker's Levelite range are synonymous with their oval shaped beds, and this is so you can fit the bed further back into the bivvy, giving you more room at the front. Now, as a rather large gentleman myself, I found that I never actually used the corners of the bed chair, and because I use quite a small bivvy anyway, the shape of the bed has meant I've been able to get it right to the back, keeping all my kit tucked away nice and tidily. The Levelite range are also synonymous with giving you a great night's sleep, and that is mainly down to the high density memory foam mattress. And this mattress scoops to your body, giving you support in all the right places. And honestly, I think I'd argue it's more comfortable than my bed at home, and I'm not just saying that. I mean it. The memory foam mattress combined with the railed midsection gives you ultimate support and comfort. Now what I mean by railed midsection is at the base of the bed, in the middle column, is fit directly into the frame of the bed itself. Now this gives you really good lumbar support, and for me that is something I massively needed because I've got a really bad back anyway, and this has helped reduce any back pain during my sessions. Another positive from the railed midsection is that it eliminates any sag over time. Now, after using a bed chair for a long period of time, sometimes you can see the middle section where the majority of the weight of your body is sat can cause the base to sag. Now with this, you don't get any of that, which is why it's been so good for my back. One of the new features on this bed is that it's got a built-in spirit level dotted all around the bed itself. Now originally I thought this was a bit of a gimmick and I thought I'll never use that. I found that leveling the bed perfectly has actually increased my quality of sleep whilst on the bank. Before, I'd set my bed up and I wouldn't even think about how level it was, but now I realise that it actually does play a massive part into comfort and quality of sleep. To adjust the height and the level of the bed, you've got a really cool, unique leg system which is super easy to use. Simply press the button, the leg pops out and locks into place straight away. No faffing, super easy. And you can also adjust it single-handedly, which is really handy because you can reach around the back of the bed whilst you're in the bivvy and adjust the height with no problems whatsoever. Whilst we're talking about the legs, this bed actually has 8 legs, and again, I never thought that this would be something that I needed. However, if me and Matt are sat next to each other, maybe editing, it means that the bed won't tip. You can sit either end of the bed and you know that it's not going to tip to one side, which is really handy. Now let's move on to an equally important part of the sleep system, which is the sleeping bag itself. A dual layer sleeping bag which has kept me warm through the brutal conditions we've had during this winter. There's been times where I've thought I'm not going to be sleeping very well, however I've kept nice and toasty in this, and I'm not a fan of wearing too many layers when I'm in bed, and honestly I haven't had a single point where I felt cold inside the sleeping bag. As I mentioned, it's a dual layer sleeping bag. You've got an outer layer and then a removable and reversible inner layer. You've got a fleece side and a smooth polyester side. Now I prefer the polyester side because, like I say, it's nice and smooth and it gives me no friction at all when I'm rolling around in the sleeping bag, and I find it just a bit more comfortable. However, saying that, I do roll over the fleece section just at the top so I get a little extra warmth around my neck and my head. The base of the sleeping bag is also that same smooth polyester material, and I find that really comfortable. Now, as I mentioned very briefly, the middle section is removable, so when it comes to the warmer weather this year, I definitely will be removing that because, like I mentioned, this keeps me super warm in the winter, so I can imagine I might be a little bit too hot if I keep all the layers there during the summer. Thankfully, the process of removing that piece is super easy. You just simply unzip it and it's out and you're away. Easy as that. The top of the sleep system and the sleeping bag comes in this lovely camouflage peach skin material, which is 20,000mm hydrostatic head waterproof, which is obviously a benefit. When you're an angler, you're out in the elements, there's obviously going to be water near you because you're fishing, so any water that does end up on the sleeping bag simply beads away and it's not going to soak into the material itself. Now, a couple of unique things about this sleep system is that, number one, the whole sleeping bag can be completely removed. So if you do want to wash it, then all you need to do is unzip it, chuck it in the washing machine, and you're good to go. And secondly, the whole mattress can be removed as well, because it's all stuck down via Velcro. Beautiful stuff. Now, with all this comfort, it does come at a cost. And when I say cost, I don't mean the price. The weight of the bed for the smaller one is 17.5 kilograms, and that is quite heavy. If you're the type of angler who likes to move around a lot, move different swims, then this might be a bit much for you. But if you're like me and you don't mind the weight, then I can highly recommend this bed. The price could also be a deciding factor for you on this bed. All this luxury does come at a cost. For this version, it currently retails at £549.99, and for the wider version, it retails at £599.99. So yes, it does come at a premium price, but you are getting premium luxury. So if you fancy a better night's sleep on the bank and you want to know a little bit more about this particular bed chair, then all you need to do is visit Trakker's website, which is www.trakkerproducts.com.